Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. Today I'm bringing you guys a live SPL game between Storm Zone of the Evergrande Bigs and One True Lycan of the Stark Sharks. Both of these guys are really promising SS players. One True Lycan has an amazing track record doing well in both last SPL and the Smogon Snake Draft, putting up like 6-1 type records. He was one of the best players without a doubt. On the flip side, Storm Zone is one of the more well-known ladder players, and he's kind of an enigma in the tournament community. He uses very unorthodox strategies, and he's able to pull them off more often than not. It's very impressive. In this Smogon Snake Draft alone, he's defeated some of the best players. He previously beat, I think he defeated, what's his name? He defeated really good players at the point. Yeah, he defeated Lax last week, and Lax is someone who's like won the World Cup Pokemon and made it very far in individuals, and he's ranked one of the top, 3 players in the pool. So for Storm Zone, who's kind of more of a ladder player, to defeat him is a big deal. He's come up victorious more often than not this tournament so far, and it's really impressive. So both these guys can be using teams that have interesting structures with kind of Dragon types plus Magnezone with Finny and Landorus Team Tran. Honestly, is the only difference between their teams Dragapult and I think it's Dragapult versus Dragonite, and that's really it. So both subscribing to a similar type of bulky offense. It's pretty funny. I think matchup-wise, probably want Dragapult a little more than Dragonite here, but that flips if you get any chip on the Finny or if the Finny isn't Moonblast. I'm imagining that it was going to be a Dragon Dance, Dual Wingbeat, Earthquake, Roost, Dragonite. So right off the bat, that looks really problematic. And with the Finny taking an Nature's Madness and not being leftovers, all of a sudden, I'd have to imagine this game is very favorable for One True Lycan's Dragonite. So yeah, that just kind of defines that as is. I don't know if this was the optimal switch on turn 1. Perhaps he was scared of letting Magnezone take any chip, as he might want to check a Banded Kartana, for example, but I digress. So now with this chip here, that's a great start for One True Lycan. And you'd have to imagine he's probably going to just let something take a trick. Yeah, because it's Scarf. And he goes Tran. Now, Tran taking the trick isn't bad at all necessarily, as now it's going to be faster than things like the opposing Heatran, likely the Landorus, so when he's Rocket. Probably still slower than the Kartana. Really depends on the spread. If it's 0-speed Heatran, then it will be. But if it's like, say, outspeeding things like Crawdaunt and 0-speed Landorus T and whatnot, then it actually gets to jump on Kartana with a Scarf as well. Say it's in the 210 to 220 range, and yeah, that'll put it into the 360s or 370s with a Scarf. So that's very important there for One True Lycan to keep note of. Now the Heatran's probably want to get out of the way of this Finny, likely go back to his own Finny or the cart. Yeah, but that's only going to take 10% from the Surf, as Finny is, well, put bluntly, a weaker Pokemon, but I digress. For those of you wondering, there's also a couple other games going on right now for Smogon Premier League. We have Bihi against Cristo and DPOU, and we have ABR against False and GSCOU, but we're just going to be looking at the SS games. You see a Moonblast here, only 24%, no drop, whereas the other Moonblast is 29, so you have to wonder if One True Lycan might be a bit more of a specially defensive heavy Tapu Fini, which would make sense given his switching into things like Toxic Heatran, otherwise isn't particularly great, and he has a couple Steel types that really can invite it in depending on their sets. All in all, though, he's going to get back and retreat to Magnezone. Not want to take too much damage with the Finny. And Magnezone actually takes 26% from the Moonblast, and it's a leftovers variant. So yeah, it's probably the Sub-Trap variant, or maybe even a Toxic Trap variant, where you run Iron Defense plus Body Press in effort to trap things like Ferrothorn and whatnot. And it actually gets really out of control really quickly. He goes right back to Magnezone on another Moonblast. I'm not sure about this play, but I suppose this is going to put him in range. He goes to Landorus here, though. On the Thunderbolt. Okay. And that's going to invite in the other Landorus on a Stealth Rock. Yeah, so they're kind of just trading positioning at this point. I'd have to imagine that, Toxic is going to hit Misty Train, but I kind of thought they both go for Toxic there. I suppose One True Lycan prioritize getting up rocks. I guess that's fine. We're going to see a U-turn there for Storm Zone, though, so he's going to get out of the sequence untoxic, and I'd have to imagine One True Lycan's going to go for he goes for an Earthquake, predicting a quicker U-turn, so he actually punished that Kartana quite nicely with a critical hit Earthquake there, so I really do like One True Lycan's position, but this Kartana is going to be able to do a lot of damage on his turn, potentially north of 70%, 60% to this Landorus, depending on how quick it is. It's got to be Life Orb or Choice Band here. Although that crit only did 63, that feels like it's too little. Maybe this is a Timid Kartana? You'd have to run the calcs, but that is little amount for a crit. I mean, it could just be a low roll crit from an uninvested Landorus. A lot of them do run very defensive sets, but if we see a Thynth here, then I wouldn't be shocked. We see him going right back to Lander's T, though, likely predicting a follow-up Earthquake, and that is indeed going to be the play, leaving the opposing Landers at -1 and getting some leftover recovery on your own. Alrighty, but now here, you can kind of bait the Toxic, but I'd have to imagine if one True Lycan saw through it the first time, he's going to see through it again. He goes Kartana. Is this going to be another Earthquake? He goes for U-turn, and a -1 U-turn is only 12 to this card. I think this has to have some bulk invested into it then. That's just doing a little too little for it to really make sense. So yeah. He brings in his own Kartana. Now that is a risky proposition right there. That could be showing Scarf Kartana from one True Lycan. That would make some sense of it. And having something to outrun a Tornadus Therian on this team is really important. So I'd have to imagine is he's Scarf, he's going to either lock into Sacred Sword or not. Locks into Sacred Sword, okay, that's all fine and well. So now he probably just goes Dragapult, knowing, okay, I can get this hell out of here. And Dragapult is able to do pretty nicely with the Finny taking some chip, but the Tran is still at full. And he lets go to Landorus T, okay. That's interesting. You go, oh, no, I don't like that U-turn. I think he should have hexed, even if it didn't kill the Finny or two. It killed the Finny. It would have been nice to get that damage off. He's got his own Finny. I think that was a little off, but I digress. The Finny looks like it's quicker than the Landorus T, so if one True Lycan is willing to part ways as he was prior, then it should not make much of a fundamental difference. The big thing here is that Kartana from one True Lycan, which is projecting the Scarf, can't lock into a move that's not Sacred Sword. And even if it locks into Sacred Sword, if it does that against a Landorus, it takes the Intimidate so it doesn't get the Beast Boost kill. And the Landorus T's at 94, by the way, so it's not even getting a kill with that. But like, if that ever were to happen, then you can still trap with Magnezone in all likelihood. Although, Body Press probably doesn't kill it, so probably have to get some chip. But yeah, no, I don't know if that Magnezone, that Kartana is going to be kind of doing much. Magnezone in the back definitely is helpful. Well, we see a faster Surf there. It's going to go ahead and take out the Landorus, so it's true that one True Lycan was willing to part ways with that Landorus. Yeah, okay. So at this point, I don't know what we're going to see, honestly. I mean, I think the Kartana makes some sense, but he probably would just double in after going out, if that makes sense. So I wonder if he just wants to go Magnezone and just do as much damage as he can. But at this point, if Moonblast was doing so much as it was, then it'll actually put it into like very low range Surf Will, that is. So he's got to be careful here, honestly. There's not really much of a safe play, which is funny considering this is freaking Vinny of all things. But Vinny can be threatening, it turns out. But again, it's in range of Leaf Blade, it's in range of Thunderbolt or Discharge, so I'm not sure there's a ton you can really do besides just trade a little damage for killing it in return. So let's wait and see here. Well, at this point, one True Lycan really looks like he's taking his time here, kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, trying to figure out what's best. And I do think that Dragonite still has a really good position, but he definitely wants to get this Finny out of the way before he can proceed to swoop with the Dragonite, especially if it's a bulkier variant there. If he's not Earthquake, the Dragonite also might be in for a bit of a scare, especially if it's a Toxic Magnezone. So we'll have to wait and see what the plan is there. So he goes Heatran. And it nature powers a Moonblast for 34%, which is cool, but he's going to take a 72% Surf in the meantime, and he's got a Magnezone in the back to essentially trap this, so I feel as if that might not have been the best option there. I guess that would have caught a Pulp mid-ground and the Landorus T coming in on Earth Power, but I feel like now you could just go to the Magnezone and you lose very little. And he actually goes Heatran knowing that he could do the same thing there and he doesn't have to lose power. So yeah, that Moonblast is only going to do 6% there. No drop either. So this looks really good for Storm Zone. All of a sudden, I feel like his mid-game has just kind of put consistently awkward positions into one True Lycan's hands, and one True Lycan hasn't necessarily handled them with the smoothest level of optimization, if you will. Well, unfortunately, you can't Magma Storm a Heatran, so you're going to have to kill it with an Earth Power if you have it. But Dragonite's going to come in here now on the Dragapult. Whoa, huge difference there. Okay. So that it is projecting to be an Earthquake Dragonite. So it's probably at a standard set with Dragon Dance, Earthquake, Dual Wing Beat, Roost, if I had to guess. And it's a very Storm Zone bring. He quite likes the Dragonites on his team. So yeah, regardless of that, he's probably going to want to get out of here. He doesn't want to take a status with this. I don't think he wants to eat a Draco either, even if it would live due to multi-scale. I don't know if that's necessarily the best trade for him. Honestly, I guess he could, because the Dragapult's pretty menacing, but the thing is, Dueling Beat doesn't even kill this, especially if it takes a burn, so you'd have to imagine that we're going to see Dragonite get out of the way here. That was a very risky Dragapult there from Storm Zone, because if he just Moonblasted again... Oh, Terrain wore out, that's why he did it. Okay, that's actually a really good play then. I digress. We're going to just see Dragon Darts there, which makes a lot of sense, but the Finny's going to eat that up, and by eat that up, I mean take literally negative damage, so... yeah, it's fun. We're going to see Magnezone come in now for Storm Zone, likely trying to backtrack and get his way around this Finny, and it looks like it's not a Leftovers variant, so perhaps it's not a Body Press variant. On his hard sheet to go for an Electric Move here to take this out, he goes for the Volt Switch. Yeah, it looks like it's a choice variant, okay. That's cool. Anyway, we see Magnezone getting a Volt Switch off here, so now he's got to bring something else out. And my first guess as to what that would be... I'm thinking Pult, honestly. I don't think he has much of another play. Pult probably forces in something like the Scarf Kartana, or potentially even the Finny right back in, so get some Rocks damage off and make sure that they're locking into a specific line of play so they can't really get too much progress done, if you will. He goes Landorus, okay, that probably invites in the Finny anyway. It could even invite in the Dragonite, because honestly, what is this going to do to Dragonite? I guess it could Toxic it, yeah. Okay. Kartana is the play here, and I'm not sure if I really understand that, as if he locks into Leaf Blade, or Knockoff, or Smart Strike, or whatever else that's not Sacred Sword, then this handy-dandy Magnezone is going to probably make quick work of it. And he does lock into Leaf Blade, that's 61, but you turn into Magnezone, yeah, exactly, so I fail to see why this was the line of play from the Storm Zone side. In fact, I think this might have been a mistake. And now, aside from the One True Lycan side, now I don't see what's stopping Storm Zone from just vaulting out of here and killing this, so... yeah, Volt Switch is going to do the trick there. After Leaf Blade takes out half of the remaining health of the Magnezone, leaving 33. It's starting to project being a Scarf Magnezone, and now we're seeing a 5-3 position from Storm Zone. And yeah, the Finny's health is something that's a bit too high for something like the Pult to look towards cleaning the game. Especially, honestly, all three Pokemon can live a hit from the Pult at this point. So yeah, that's not great. It looks like it's projecting to be a choice Pult. I'm just wondering if it's Specs or Scarf. We have only seen Darts and U-Turn, though. In fact, it changed up moves, if I recall. No, it didn't change up moves. It took one of each. Yeah, no, okay. So we aren't sure if it's not choice, but regardless. Well, I mean, this is hard to say. He goes Finny, yeah, but what do you U-turn into? Nothing really wants to 1v1 this Finny. Why is this Finny a threat and a half? Oh my gosh. Well, he lets go of his own Finny, or at least he tries to, but it actually tanks the Scald. So now he can get a Moonblast off here if he really wants to. And now, all of a sudden, the Finny is down at 50. Okay, so that's definitely some major progress for Storm Zone. Trying to get it in like to a kill range for a Hex type of move. Or a Shadow Ball if he has it. I am not really sure what this set would project as with Finny. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked with Shadow Ball, because getting status on the opponent is not the likeliest thing in the world. That was a lot of damage for a U-turn there. I'm wondering if this is a fully physical... Is this like a physical Dragapult? How much does the prior U-turn do? Hold up. Hold the phone. Oh, I'm far too far back now. So... That's Leviathan. Leviathan's U-turn. Trying to figure out when Leviathan came in. Did 9% to a Landorus T at -1. It's a bulky Landorus T on this team. That means it did 18. So it did like 30. Yeah, that's probably a banded Dragapult, or at least a max attack adamant Dragapult. So that's projecting as something we don't see every day. Moonblast into the Magnezone. I'm not sure about that, buddy. Because now Surf is going to take this out. But wait, he wants to save the Finny. He goes to the Landorus onto the body press. Landorus tanks the body press. So much is happening, my goodness. And the Landorus is indeed quicker than the Magnezone, but he locks in the Earthquake and the Dragonite. It becomes awkward, but then he can potentially Toxic it. But he's got to scout for subsets and Ice Beam and whatnot. And there's a lot of different possibilities here. He does just take it out with the Earthquake. Okay, so we have a 5-2 spot. Looks like he's all in the Dragonite plan at this point, which it can work if it gets out of his Landorus 1v1 unscathed, I suppose. I mean, I don't actually see a ton standing in the way of it if it doesn't have to eat a Toxic, so it's really just a Dragapult dual wing beat. Sorry, just their Dragon Darts at this point. Well, one True Lycanus, thinking through all of his options here, his timer is dwindling down as well, so it's kind of an anticlimactic endgame, because like you expected there to be a bit more aggressive plays and maneuvering in such an aggressive matchup, but unfortunately that was not present whatsoever in this game, so I digress. I'm thinking the Dragonite wins if it's able to get a safe Dragon Dance, though. I feel like One True Lycan's kind of whole endgame has been just positioning around this, but now he's taking his time to really figure out if it is even a free opportunity or not. And, he goes to Dragonite. Here comes. So, he goes right. What? He doubled to Finny on the Toxic. Well, I guess that's free leftovers. And it ends its range. That's free leftovers, but he's slower. Now, other Finny comes in. It's going to die here, obviously. Sets up train again. Okay. So I guess that netted him free leftovers, but now the Magnezone comes in here. Magnezone's going to take this out with the Volt Switch. Yeah, now it's 4-on-1, and he brings in the Dragapult, and I'm not sure I understand, but the first Darts is going to do 46, the second will do 54, and that'll be that, as the banded Dragapult is going to emerge victorious. I don't know I guess One True Lycan just didn't really have an opening there, yeah. So well played by Stormzone to really minimize that, but yeah, no, that was a good game. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for helping me hit 6,000, and have a great day. Okay, peace. Later.